Welcome back to some more RWBY World Remnant, this one titled Atlas. So we're gonna see what Crow thinks about Atlas, which is very cool. Last World Remnant with Mistral, we basically learned about the kingdom and how they operate and what their kingdom's like and how they build on the side of walls and stuff. Like, that's really cool. I like that a lot. Yeah, hopefully we can see what Atlas has to offer. Maybe more about the kingdom and how the army is kind of, melded with the school and stuff. So, yeah. Well, let's get started. Here we go. This is actually like a 1 minute longer video than the rest of them. It's three minutes long. So maybe we get to even hear about the Shnees and how they operate in the city and everything. Who knows? Let's get started, shall we? Here we go. RWBY World of Remnant. I gotta turn down my end. Alright, Crow, what do you have for us today? Atlas.
I suppose it's time we talked about the fine people at the top of the world. Atlas is Remnant's youngest and arguably most successful kingdom, but it's a bit of a special case. See, before the Great War, there was no Atlas. There was Mantle.
Yeah.
At some point in time, a group of settlers were crazy enough to venture out into the northernmost continent of Solitas. I guess when you're that desperate, a frozen hunk of rock doesn't seem like such a bad place to call home. As a matter of fact, the harsh weather conditions proved to be just as useful as the mountain ranges when it came to keeping the creatures of the grim at bay. It also kept the people of Mantle from flourishing. Humanity's got a neat trick up its sleeve, though. Whenever we're faced with a problem, our inclination is to find a solution. The cold climate of Solitas forced its settlers to adapt. They developed a more advanced technology, and they did it faster than the rest of the world. Because they had to survive.
Yeah.
But it was the Great War that really kicked things off.
Miniguns?
New forms of dust application and weaponry allowed Mantle to expand. More and more territory was set aside for dust mining and research. The territory beside the kingdom's combat school, Alcius, was the most opportune area to construct a new R&D facility. But by the time things were all said and done, it would be much more. Alcius was reopened as Atlas after the Great War to house many of the warriors now seeking guidance. In an effort to give back to the citizens, Mantle applied all sorts of new dust techniques and technologies it had used in the war to beef up the Academy's campus. The school grounds expanded faster than they could have imagined, and even helped to better secure the surrounding areas. It wasn't long before the kingdom's military moved in. Then the labs and research facilities, and eventually even residential areas started popping up.
So it became the
In time,
capital.
It became apparent that the city of Mantle was living in Atlas' shadow. And so the decision was made to move the kingdom's capital. Mantle was old news, and the kingdom of Atlas was born. A golden age of prosperity, they called it. But those left behind in Mantle would probably tell you that it was the coldest winter they ever knew.
Very interesting. Super cool. So, I always thought, and I think other people thought too, that, or I guess they never explained it, so I mean this is like the first time they ever explained it. I thought the consensus was basically that Mantle had like a civil war or something like that, and then Atlas was like, they converted to Atlas, but because they never explained it up until now, so it's kind of been like kind of rumored and like whatever we've heard little tiny snippets of like how Atlas runs. I mean they have like a warmonger kind of feel to them. How like they're all military and they're very hard military, idealistics and stuff. So it kind of seemed that way. How like they possibly took over their own kingdom by force in a way. But it looks like it just Atlas became better at making a city than Mantle did. So everyone moved to Atlas because it was better, and Mantle was then left behind. So Mantle's still there, potentially, but maybe it's like not as prosperous as it used to be. So it's probably either a ghost town or it's like in ruins, or not ruins, I would say, because there wasn't really a war there, but there's probably some people still there, maybe, just like kind of hanging out, living their life alone in solitude or whatever. But that's pretty cool about Atlas, and a lot of names. Like before, we never had continent names, and then all of a sudden, these group episodes of like World Remnant with the Veil and Mistral videos, including the Atlas one, have been like just spooling out names like left and right. So it's actually pretty cool. We got to see a couple more villages in the kingdoms, and how they run and how they live and what the climate is and everything. So I guess never before, no one's ever wondered what Atlas's climate is, but they live on glaciers and like heavy snowfall sections, and potentially underground. But that was probably just the mines, how like the Schnee Dust Company mines, how they dig underground and everything. And I'm pretty sure the Schnee Dust Company is not the only dust company to mine stuff. They're just the most fortunate, I guess, or like they're the most out there in terms of like who's getting the most dust out of the mines and stuff. So it'll be interesting just to see more about that when we hopefully get to see how Weiss is doing in Volume 4. So, yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Tune in tomorrow for I Hope to Be Vacuo. And we're not sure... Well, I'm not sure for sure what Friday is going to hold. Friday would be... Or I should say, today, right now, that I'm recording this, is Wednesday. You'll be seeing this on Thursday. That's when that's when this episode unlocks to the public and everything. So that's when I want to upload it. But there is 2 more days potentially for another World Remnant. So Vacuo for sure. That's like a guaranteed at this point, because like they're running through all the kingdoms. But Friday is like a wild card kind of thing. They might do something, they might not. I don't know. I've looked online on the site, on any kind of like forum post or whatever, not a single mention on why they release these now kind of thing, and there's no record on why they did it that I saw anyways. If if there's any kind of post out there explaining why they release these now, what's coming next, that kind of thing, I would love to know. So make sure you comment down below if you know that kind of information. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Tune in tomorrow for Vacuo, and possibly something else the next day, and then finally on the 22nd is when that's when Volume 4 comes out. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. See ya.